Today's episode of the Wrestle Arc Podcast is brought to you guys by ProWrestlingTees.com. Folks, ProWrestlingTees.com is the official home of many of your favorite websites, from AEW to New Japan Pro Wrestling to Impact Wrestling, ML Wrestling, and many, many more. We'll be talking about them a little bit later on in the show, but first, let's get you guys over to the Wrestle Arc Podcast, guys. Peyton Cash, take it away. Or not.
And welcome back to another episode of the Wrestle Arc Podcast. I am your host, the Trustful One, Payne Cash, as always. And today, as always, with me is the king of the CMU Cruiserweights, Allin Thomas.
Hello.
The Rant King Plod, Thomas Noble.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen?
BWN Radio 12.
I'm doing good. Peyton, take it off subscriber only chat.
No. It's on anyone. And the Joker, the reigning, defending, undisputed Wrestle Arc champion, Ross Blocks.
Also, Peyton, no, it's not off subscriber mode. It doesn't show that.
Let me see.
It literally just says subscriber only. But anyway.
It says subscriber only mode.
I didn't save it. Crap. There we go. Got it. Saved it. Alright, everyone. We are here to do the AEW All Out Results Show. Because last night, if you saw my Trust One Wrestling reaction stream, that killed us. Like, extremely killed us.
It does.
So,
literally.
Yeah, and we thought that if we were to do the results show that night after probably that show, we would have been like laughing our butts off because we couldn't even because
we could not even.
There was one part of the show that we've been dying laughing about, but we'll get to that in a little bit. But we are going to be starting off with the AEW buy-in, which even though we didn't count that match, but I'm gonna go ahead and get that out of the way.
Why?
It was the Best Friends and Jurassic Express taking on the Hardy Family Office, and the winners were Jurassic Express and the Best Friends. And after the match, I believe the Butcher made his return.
Yes, that is correct.
All right.
Yeah, like who gives a crap about the Butcher?
Wow.
Actually, AEW does because
He hasn't
they
been.
get one of their tag teams back.
Yeah,
So.
the Butcher and the Blade is back together, so that's good. But now we go to the main show. Now for this one, I'm going to for every match that I will explain, I will explain who we had in that match because due to me being stupid, I did not send the predictions to over Mr. Radio, so I apologize for that.
No, but I have the whole results thing right here if you want me to read them.
Oh, then by all means, take it away,
All
Mr.
right,
Radio.
the first match that was on the main card was the AEW TNT Championship. Miro taking on Eddie Kingston. These two fought back and forth. However, the winner, of course, and still champion is AEW TNT Champion Miro.
I didn't see that much. Was it good?
It was alright.
Yep.
It was a very good first start to the
Eddie
night.
Kingston literally wore a T-shirt
Yeah.
out there that said "Redeem D's nuts."
That's true, he did.
Like literally, he has that shirt, and it's
My God.
Okay.
Yeah.
But besides the T-shirt, the match was actually really good. It was a back and forth contest. I didn't think it was going to go the distance, but that match actually did.
It was good.
Mhm.
yeah, it is. Even though Kingston has a good fight in him, but Miro still retains. We'll find out exactly who's the rightful Miro.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they didn't
Yeah.
didn't say that. But, okay. All right. Up next was John Moxley taking on Satoshi Kojima, in which those two had an New Japan Pro Wrestling rivalry, and of course, John Moxley would get the win. However, it was after the match that made it interesting when Suzuki came out.
Minoru Suzuki, the king.
And of course challenged John Moxley, and of course we now have them going one-on-one on AEW Dynamite this Wednesday.
He's a legend in New Japan Pro Wrestling.
He's one of the goats,
I don't know who he
I'm
is.
looking forward to this match.
dude.
John Moxley,
Allin.
the current GCW champion
Allin.
as well.
If you have not seen Suzuki in action, he is like literally talented. Even though he is like 53 years old, he can still go at it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, next.
The next match on the card was the AEW Women's Championship match. Dr. Britt Baker DMD versus Chris Statlander. Now, this match was one of the more interesting ones because supposedly it gives a spoiler for the rest of the night. We're not going to get into that yet. But it would be Dr. Britt Baker DMD getting the win by submission.
Via
This was an
the
okay
logo.
match. Not the best match, not the worst match. It was an okay match.
Oh, definitely.
I
He only did hiatus. He did. Oh.
Go ahead.
No,
Thomas, what were you gonna say?
go ahead.
All right. I also like the fact that how Statlander did the little boop thing to Baker, like literally forcing her to do the boop.
He made a booper nose.
But also, I just like the fact that Orange Cassidy, like I thought Cassie's like more like a. He literally made a hype to Statlander, which I really just like about that.
He did. He really did.
Next match.
Okay. Now, up next is a match that I thought was honestly the match of the night. The
Yes.
AEW Tag Team Championship match between the Young Bucks and the Lucha Brothers.
By far.
This match was graphic. This match had cage. This match had thumbtacks on a
Everything.
shoe.
On
This
the,
That was a
match
unique way
had
to use
blood.
There was a
Okay.
super kick with a sock on. Yes.
There was a lot of it, but of course,
Yep.
the surprising one of that, of course, was the diving off the cage, leading to a finisher, and the winners and new AEW Tag Team Champions, the Lucha Brothers, defeating the Young Bucks.
The surprising thing
Yeah,
about
let's
this
see
one,
Already met you.
the surprising thing about this one, no, but we get into the results after. Remember that. The surprising one for this one is there was no interference
yeah.
from like
Surprisingly,
the Good Brothers or anyone.
No,
the ending was crazy when everyone was just doing super kicks and kip ups all over the place.
yeah, that was like one of the most funny.
Like what? Like what the heck?
Like chop, 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 chop. Super kick, super kick, super kick, super kick.
And then a shoe with thumbtacks on it.
Yeah, that moment was gruesome.
When they shoved it in the face of Penta
Yeah.
when he was already bleeding.
And even the Bucks literally ripping the mask
My God.
of the luchadors.
And
That
guess
was
what?
probably
This
that was
match,
match of the night.
this
Yeah.
match, and this whole show has made me an AEW fan. They did their
Same.
job. They got me hooked.
This is the best AEW pay-per-view ever. I'm gonna say it right now.
This is the best pay-per-view of the year so
Yep.
far. But anyway,
But-
radio, continue.
We haven't
Absolutely.
done yet, boys. We haven't done yet.
Right.
All right, so up next would be the
Go ahead.
so up.
No.
Well, what?
It's fine.
All right. Up next, we have the Casino Battle Royal, where the winner gets a number one contender shot at the AEW Women's Championship. This match had a lot of interesting contestants. However, the most surprising one would have to be at the Joker spot, where Ruby Soho would come out as the Joker. It would come down to between her and Thunder Rosa, and Ruby Soho would get the win. She is now the new number one contender for the AEW Women's Championship.
What a way to bring her back too.
She deserved the title run. She deserved it.
It was
She did.
great for her.
Definitely.
I mean, that match had a lot of action. That match, I'm surprised with all the people that I've seen in that match, but to see Thunder Rosa and Ruby Soho and at the end was the most shocking one of them all.
Yeah.
And that's where the surprises only started.
Mm-hmm.
We're not done.
Oh, no.
Now the next match we're just gonna go ahead and skip because that was absolute bullshit.
No, we're not. No, we're
Hold
not.
on there.
No,
Hold on there.
we're
Just
not.
because you got so salty about the ending doesn't
Oh,
mean we have to
shut up.
skip it.
What is the match?
It was Chris
MJF
Jericho
versus
Chris
versus.
Jericho.
Oh, this one.
Alright, hold on. It was
All
Chris.
right, so the next match is MJF versus Chris Jericho. It was Jericho's last, supposedly supposed to be his last match if he lost, which at first he did. He got pinned, but of course the referee came out, said that his foot was on the rope, and the match restarted, and Jericho, of course, had to get the freaking win.
Via the walls.
What we have noticed from this is radio officially hates Tony Khan and Aubrey Edwards and Chris Jericho.
Well, because
He
if you
hates
did
Aubrey
that,
Edwards.
hold on. If you did that in WWE, they wouldn't just restart the match; it'd be over.
Yeah, it's Vince McMahon, bro.
Yeah, in AEW they do it. No, restart the match. You jerk off.
Yeah, but to be fair, the match should have been restarted. He had his foot on the rope. Aubrey
Yeah.
Edwards and the two blind eyes couldn't see.
Yeah, Aubrey,
Yeah, true.
yeah. Aubrey had
Oh,
a botch.
shut
Aubrey had a botch in that match.
I don't think it was a botch. I think it was meant, but
meant to happen.
Yeah,
Um,
that
yeah.
was definitely part of the story.
All right, next.
All right, next we get to the big hometown return: CM Punk versus Darby Allin. Now these two would go back and forth. Punk, of course, showing that he can still compete in the ring. Has a little ring wear.
Even in tights.
Has a little ring wear. And Darby Allin, of course, had the speed and, of course, was the young gun in this game. However, CM Punk would pick up the win in Chicago.
Of course he did.
When Darby Allin got full on chucked into the turnbuckle and got launched out of the ring, that was very scary, the way he ran into it in high speed.
Yeah, he
There's
went
two
head first.
GTSs in this, right?
There were two
Yes,
GTSs.
the first GTS sent Darby flying out of the ring, and then the second one was the finish.
Yep.
Do you think this rivalry is over?
No.
Nope.
CM Punk versus Sting is going to happen, probably.
We'll see.
Good, I would want that. Now, go ahead, Noble.
All right, thank you. I just like the fact that Punk just won the match, even though he hasn't competed in the ring in 7 years, and this is his first win in 7 years.
It's his first match in 7 years.
Yeah.
First match in 7 years.
The first match in 7 years, his first win in 7 years. He never won a single thing since he never won a UFC.
No, he didn't.
He sucked.
He did.
Yeah,
Yeah, he did.
he did. Go ahead, Radio. Move on.
What the next match?
No, I don't know how this was your co-main event. Boy,
See,
what a
he
freaking
hates Tony
shocker.
Khan again. He hates Tony Khan again now.
No, this is the main reason I hate Tony Khan. Your co-main event is Paul White versus QT Marshall.
And this match was a god dang squash.
Yeah, Paul White ends up winning, but what the
Yeah, that man was complaining because what he was wanting
Hello,
was
Matthew.
Paul White to
Get out,
take out
Lynn.
and have him be replaced by Bryan Danielson, which did not happen.
Which, honestly, that would have been a better storyline, but no. Instead, we got Paul White returning to the freaking ring.
Hey, are you sure this wasn't WWE booking this? Because that is some WWE
Garbage.
booking right there.
This is garbage.
Are you sure Vince had nothing to do with this?
Conspiracy in the making.
Vince booked this match.
Main event of the
Oh no,
evening.
so
Well,
Jim Ross called what's his name? Paul White's Big Show. Yeah, he did that.
Well, here was my only problem with it. If you're in Chicago and it's CM Punk's big return, and you don't put him as the co-main event, let alone the main event, you're stupid.
Okay, all I'm going to say about this, if you watched the Trustful One's reactions last night,
Noble, if you call me the Rant King, I swear to God, I will kick you right in your nuts.
No, I'm not. Raider and Ross are like going at it. Like literally. So typically, all I'm going to say is, I'm going to say this year, Radio wins over Ross is just Ross.
Yep.
Ooh. Anyway, moving on.
Now we get to the fun part.
Oh boy.
AEW World Championship match. Kenny Omega versus Christian Cage.
The hobo.
Now, this match looked good. I mean, we saw a table, which I thought Christian legitimately got hurt.
It has,
We saw Omega botch a jumping off the barricade thing.
We also see the match of a top rope one-winged angel.
We saw the Good Brothers trying to interfere, but we saw the Christian Cage was going to go for the kill switch off the turnbuckle. However, Omega would come up out of nowhere, hit the one-winged angel off was it the second or third rope?
I believe it was top rope.
I think it was the second one.
It was a rope.
Yeah, he hit it off a rope and would get the win. And, of course, his group would come out and start attacking everyone. Then
And now, Radio wins Tony Khan.
Jurassic Express and all that. However, then Omega started to begin his little celebration speech, which is getting annoying. everything went dark. And then
We gotta stay together, guys.
we saw the black and gold.
Of 3, 2, 1.
Oh,
baby!
I was not saying. Adam
All
Cole
I'm
would
gonna
make
say
his
is we-
debut. Adam Cole
We
would
were all wrong.
Adam Cole would enter the ring.
We were wrong.
It
about
looked
that.
like he was getting ready to challenge Omega. Then he would super kick Jungle Boy and would start celebrating with the Elite. Now you
We
would
got
think.
story time.
Now you think that that would be the end of it,
Oh no! Oh no!
No.
but no. All of a sudden, the music hits.
Ba ba da ba
Brian.
ba ba da ba 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 ba
No,
da
Peyton.
Payne, if you shut up and
No,
stop singing.
no.
Peyton, don't quit your day job at Arby's. Anyway,
Who was it, radio? Who was
Brian
it?
Danielson would make his AEW debut, coming to help out Jungle Boy and Christian as they fought alongside Omega would scatter. However, Adam Cole and
The Young Bucks, I think, or the Good Brothers.
it was the Young Bucks. Adam Cole and the Young Bucks would fight Jurassic Express and Cage, which we saw the running knee by Bryan Danielson, and that would be the end of it.
We were wrong about where Adam Cole would end up.
Yeah, we were.
We thought he was
we
staying in
were wrong.
WWE, but no.
We were absolutely wrong about that.
Yeah.
AEW literally just slapped our face and said, no. You're
And
wrong.
also, for people in the chat that don't know who Bryan Danielson is, because you've been looking at the Raw, he's Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that.
Now, just before we get
Yeah.
into the results, radio, you need to do your thing.
Oh yeah. As
Take it away, radio.
as revealed in our past stream, which we didn't send the radio, we now have ourselves
Let me get into it.
we now have a sponsorship. Radio?
Take it away.
Alrighty, today's episode of the Wrestle Arc podcast is brought to you guys by Pro Wrestling Tees. Folks, this website is the official home of AEW, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Independent or Impact Wrestling, Major League Wrestling, and many more. Of course, it has some of your favorite indie wrestlers going on right now. New t-shirts have been made. They've been launched, boys. From the Bryan Danielson, the American Dragon is back shirt, to the Adam Cole All Elite, baby, to the Ruby Soho Runaway shirt, to Christian Cage's new merch, as well as Eddie Kingston Redeem These Nuts shirt. You guys can find that at ProWrestlingTees.com. We are currently in the process of getting the Wrestle Arc podcast shirt up and going soon. We're still waiting for the official okay before we can start posting stuff like that. Once we have that, we'll be good to go. But for right now, folks, head over to Pro Wrestling Tees and get your awesome shirts today. Make sure you folks download the Pro Wrestling Tees app. That way you guys can get exclusive items and promos every month. Head over ProWrestlingTees.com.
Link in the description below.
It is as well. But now we have the scores of all out
Ooh.
as the title.
First of all, Ross, do you have any words as you are the defending champion?
All I can say is, Punk won. Fuck all of you. I had my ice cream bar and I enjoyed it good.
All right.
Okay. I'll also say, you lost to radio in a rant that read off, and you're just going to redeem your own nuts.
Yep.
Nice.
Do I give a
Anyway.
damn?
Yes, you can give a damn.
Anyway,
All right, guys. Here we go. Here are the scores from All Out. In last place, with a score of 6 wins and 3 losses. 6 wins and 3 losses. Christian Vega.
that's why he's not here. He's crying.
Sort of. But
He obviously doesn't care.
But in second place, we have a 4-way tie. With a score with a score of 7 wins and 2 losses. 7 wins and 2 losses. Myself, Noble, Radio, and Ross Blocks. With that being said, your winner of AEW All Out with the score of 8 wins, 1 loss, and new Wrestle Arc Champion, Allin Thomas.
Me?
You're wrong. It's Jeff.
So, first of all, I want to say a couple of things because this is my moment. First of all, this title is back home, back where it deserves, and it's going to be safe. I will beat you guys at Extreme Rules too because I am better than all of you. Second of all,
We'll see about that.
I nailed that pay-per-view. I was the only one that got the tag team title match right. I only got the Battle Royale wrong, and I never watch AEW. I'm the one in this chat right now that doesn't watch AEW. Everyone else in here watches that show nearly every week. I don't know what's happening. I don't know half the people in that company, and I still win.
The fact that
Does that make me a fake WWE fan or just a lucky guess man?
I don't know. But Aled, congrats on being the second ever 2-time Wrestle Arc champion. You will defend that championship at Extreme Rules at September 26th.
And I will win.
I have some issues with this, but okay.
I think 26th. I'm not quite sure.
Hey, Radio, you have problems. You can call us when you can.
No. I don't care about you winning it. It's
If you have
something that's not
problem,
right.
go scream at MJF about the referee.
Yeah, so if MJF would have won it, I think it's like it was 6 and
Well,
1.
you did get 2 answers.
Yeah, so it was 6 and 1. When
Yeah, but the rest of these guys should have been a 3.
Yeah.
It made no sense.
It was 6 and 1 when it was the Battle Royal.
All right.
It came down to MJF.
Listen, I'm taking my loss.
As you should.
Ross, do you have anything to say?
I'm taking it back at Extreme Rules.
Oh,
3
let's
times.
see.
It's gonna happen.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. We'll see.
Now, first of all, Ross, you're not going to be 3-time. Aled, make your pause that title for me because I'm coming after it.
Yeah, exactly, Thomas. Exactly, Thomas. You never had it.
Oh, dude.
Aled, pause that title for me. Pain, you're just being pain, okay? Radio, good luck.
I like how I get good luck and you all get slammed. That makes no sense.
God damn.
I know.
But everyone, that will do it for our results show for All Out. Thank you to our sponsor of Pro Wrestling Tees. Make sure you guys go follow them for all of your pro wrestling needs to AEW, New Japan Pro Wrestling, all the indies.
Hey, he's doing it one more time.
Peyton.
I'm getting ahead of myself. Sorry. Go ahead.
Radio.
Hey, you and me are gonna talk after this.
Dang it.
A big thank you to Pro Wrestling Tees once again. Thank you so much for being a proud sponsor of the Wrestle Arc podcast. Once again, folks, Pro Wrestling Tees, they are the home of AEW, New Japan Pro Wrestling, Impact Wrestling, MLW, and WOW, as well as some other independent wrestlers as well. You guys can follow your favorite independent wrestlers, including former legends. That's right, you guys can get legendary t-shirts such as Eddie Guerrero's t-shirts, Andre the Giant, Owen Hart, Hot Rod Roddy Piper, and many, many more. You guys can also follow a bunch of other podcasts and stuff on there as well. But mostly you got to follow ours because ours is better than anyone. But anyway, head over to ProWrestling.com and get your exclusive stuff there right now. Make sure you folks download their app. And once again, a big thank you to ProWrestlingTees.com for sponsoring this episode of the Wrestle Arc podcast.
And for everyone watching here live, thank you so much for watching everyone here live. Make sure when you leave, you like the video. You comment down below any topics you want to have us talk about on our podcast Thursday. Subscribe to the channel and make sure you ring that bell for more content from us. So follow us on all the socials down in the description below. And we have something very big coming up because now, since we have a sponsor, we gotta keep it consistent. Thanks to it'd be either radio sponsoring it, or if it's not here, one of us will. We'll see. But everyone,
We will see you Thursday.
We will see you Thursday for our regular podcast, and then we won't be able to do predictions until the day before Extreme Rules. So get hyped up because Extreme Rules is next. But until then, for Lead, Radio, Ross, and Noble, this is Paincast saying for the best in life, and we'll see you next time on the Wrestle Arc podcast. Wrestle Arc,
Peace out.
out.
Peace.
Peace out.
Growing up ain't easy. Too many things to do weekly. Too many thoughts to think deeply. Too many thoughts to be sleeping. Yeah, oh my god, I'm not eating. I feel so empty, I'm receding. And all of my friends are misleading. All of these posts and the lives they're leading. Yeah, oh, no way, I ain't gonna stand for this today. I'ma keep my head down, I'm okay. I don't wanna listen to a word they say. And we all know fear is a slogan, yeah. And we all feel broken, yeah. And we all outspoken. Need someone who could just so sometimes I struggle in this place. Been in circles several days, never knowing the right way. Yeah. Sometimes I struggle in this place. People look the other way, and we all deal with our pain.